How much was the rent for your first apartment in Toronto?
Under $100.
What's a great title for a calypso about Bitcoin?
Ah, I am bit by bit, or maybe bit by Bitcoin, or Bitcoin bit me.
What do you find most confusing about Bitcoin?
There's so many crypto, there's so many coins, but we're talking about Bitcoin, right? So now, to me, not much is confusing.
Keep 'em cold till I'm old. I don't plan to blow my load. Wallet so blue, if you know, you know. It's better than bonds, better than gold. Finna reap up what I sow. Fit money can't keep up, it gets sold. How many times you been told? DCA's the way to go. Higher highs, higher lows. Every year my network grows. Every day my network grows. Running relays, running nodes. Yeah. Dollar a day's a minimum. Stats, zap sats. Any fear I get, flipping them.
Dad, welcome to Ask a Bitcoiner 21 Questions. We had a lovely interview with a few technical glitches, but we've gotten through it, and now we will do 21 questions. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes, with pleasure, my dear daughter Saida. My real name, as you know, is Henry Gomez. My sobriquet or calypso name is King Cosmos. Why two names? Well, Henry Gomez, the name I was given when I was born, christened. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, 2 islands, 1 nation, or two islands under one flag, as one of my calypso says. And I lived there until I was a young adult. Then I moved to Toronto, Canada. My career, I've been a high school teacher or secondary school teacher, some people say, composer, an award-winning composer and recording artist, a professional actor. So those are the 3 main, I should say, activities I engaged in during, so far in my life. And I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather. All of those are parts of my identity that I think are now fully integrated. My genre of music is calypso. I compose most of my own music. You may find my music on YouTube. You search King Cosmos on YouTube. My most recent hit is called Trinbago is Home. Trinbago is a combination of Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah, during my high school teaching career, I taught drama, English literature, and media studies. I think that's I
And
live
you
in
also
Toronto, Canada.
discovered Bitcoin in 2013, and you started to actually, I guess, get more involved a few years after that.
Yes, that's quite true. I'm sorry that I didn't stay with it when I discovered it, but I didn't understand it. So, it was
Yeah.
new technology, and the language wasn't as common as it is now. Had I stayed with it, today I would have been a Bitcoin millionaire many times over, because when I discovered it, the value was 0.0000 something cent, which seemed so meaningless at the time.
Yeah.
But I learned.
So now we're going to do 21 questions, and the goal is to get through 21 questions in 10 minutes. Short segment. I'm going to adjust the difficulty. I'm adding another 2 minutes to the timer, so it'll be 12 minutes,
All right.
because this will be your first time interacting with the Lightning Network.
So true. Yes. Je suis prêt.
Tu es prêt, un homme. Une femme, c'est prête. Although with the new DEI thing, policies, I think that's impacted the French language. I'm not sure if there's a different way of saying it, but generally speaking, as a man, you would say je suis prêt and not prête.
Not prêt. Oui, prêt.
So I will read the first question, and then I will start the timer at 12 minutes. Are you ready?
Oui.
First question. Which Calypso legend from the past do you think would have been a Bitcoiner?
Arrow. Oh, the mighty Arrow. I say that because he was an astute businessman. And I think he, always had a futuristic outlook.
How do you think Bitcoin differs from traditional currencies?
Well, by traditional, I'm sure you mean fiat currency. And I think
Yeah.
a major difference is Bitcoin is private. I say more private in the sense that you don't have to go through banks and all that, to hold your Bitcoin, and maybe more secure as well because you're in control. And, the banks can pretty much confiscate your money at any time, even though there's insurance. But
Truth.
generally that could happen.
Would you give mom your private keys?
Maybe, and I say maybe because she's not really interested in this technology and what have you. But I would say maybe she might show interest. It would be good, I think, for somebody to have my private keys, because people do die, even though I think I'm invincible. Okay, to you then. Okay, good. All right.
Actually, that's a good segue into the next question. Would mom ever hold Bitcoin?
I don't think so. She doesn't believe in any currency that she can't see and hold, even though recently
That's
she
fair.
started doing transactions online, telephone banking. But she
Eh?
doesn't believe in anything that is not real, if I might use that term.
What's a great title for a Calypso about Bitcoin?
Ah, I am bit by bit,
Bit by bit. That's good.
bit by bit, or maybe bit by Bitcoin, or Bitcoin bit me. I love puns, right?
Yeah, that's good. I think you should. Sorry. How did you discover the Keiser Report?
Ooh, through my curiosity about life, my dissatisfaction with what I was seeing on Western mainstream media, I am, believing and thinking and believing that there has to be another narrative, especially where Russia was concerned. So I kept searching, and then I came across RT, Russian TV or Russian television, and on that I discovered Max and Stacy.
Lightning Keychains app. Are you ready? So,
Hold on.
so I'll
Let
go over
me-
the steps quickly. It's state our locations, zap 21 sats to my keychain, and then show confirmation.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
So, where are you located?
I'm located in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada.
And I'm located in Geneva, Switzerland. Here is my keychain.
Okay, should I point my phone at it now?
Yeah. Have you
Bring it more.
hit?
Bring
Have
bring
you
in more.
hit? Have you hit send on Wallet of Satoshi?
Hold on. No, not as yet. Just a minute. Do. Okay, I think I got to go back a bit. Okay, hit send on Wallet of Satoshi's, right? Bring your
Yep.
keychain more to the center. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not.
Oops.
That's okay.
Hold on. Ooh, boy. I wonder if I can make... Okay, that's better. Hit send. Okay, I just hit send.
Okay. And what do you see on the screen now?
And... Hold
You have
on.
to point the camera so that
Okay,
it picks up the
good.
QR code. Okay.
Now, sats for Ask a Bitcoiner 21
There you go.
questions.
And then
Okay,
21.
so now you want me to put in 21, right?
Yes.
Oops, that's 121. That's not 21. Okay, hold on. 21. Okay, and then hit send, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, voila, sent.
And show your screen confirmation.
You want me to show you?
Yeah,
Success.
it should.
Wait,
Okay,
thanks. Sets
can you show?
received. There you go.
Okay.
Are you good with
Oh,
that?
and here we go. Yep, boom. And I have confirmation
Okay.
on my end. I don't
Copy
know if
message.
you can see the message.
Okay. Yep, done.
You don't need to copy it. And confirmation on my side as well. I think.
Yep. Thanks. Sets received. So that leaves 78 sats.
Yes. Let us continue with the challenge. The clock is still on. What's the craziest Bitcoin conspiracy theory you've ever heard?
I'm not sure that I heard any. I think the craziest is that the person who created Bitcoin, Satoshi, that he might have been working for the CIA.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's kind of crazy, but hey, I think that's the craziest I've heard about Bitcoin.
How was your experience using the Bitcoin Well?
Pleasant, easy. The ATM was easy to use. Took me a bit of driving to find the location, but hey, it was worth it. First time I used an ATM to purchase Bitcoin. So yeah, it was user-friendly. I think that's the expression.
You can try their online platform as well. How much was the rent for your first apartment in Toronto?
Under $100, because it was what we call a geared income apartment, and I was making much money at the time, so under $100. I don't remember the exact figure.
Have you considered uploading your music to Wavelake?
Well, now I will. I hadn't considered it before, but I'll have to investigate, find out more about less about platform, and then decide.
You know what? You're my dad. I want to go through all 21 questions, so I'm going to stop the timer because we had a few technical issues. So we're still going to try to do this quickly and concisely, but there's no timer.
Okay.
The difference between being a human and a protocol, I could make an executive decision.
Okay.
What's the biggest change you've seen in Toronto over the past 20 years?
Proliferation of condo towers and traffic congestion.
Have you ever lost access to your Bitcoin wallet?
No.
No. What advice would you give to someone who is just starting to learn about Bitcoin?
I would tell the person, learn as much as possible and invest in it because it's a great alternative to fiat.
Why don't central bankers like Bitcoin?
I'm not sure that they don't like it. Maybe they're pretending that they don't like it. But as soon as they can co-opt it effectively enough, I think they might like it. I think they do like it because they see the value, and bankers and money go hand in hand.
If you were still teaching, what would you tell your students about Bitcoin?
Yeah, I would tell them it's essential that they learn about Bitcoin and that they not only learn about it, but invest in it because it's pretty much the future where currency is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Do you and cousin Kay, I'll call him, talk about Bitcoin at home?
Very little because we don't see each other that much. The way he works doesn't give us much time to chat, but we have talked about it, yes.
What do you think about the Lightning Network now that you've tried it?
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I love the immediacy, you know what I mean? And that personal exchange, I think it's great. Wonderful. Thanks for introducing me to, you've been telling me about it for some time. I never really bothered, but now I thank you for that.
What do you find most confusing about Bitcoin?
Hey, now I'm not sure. Oh, yes, I know. How come there's so many? No, you see, I'm revealing my confusion because I was going to say there's so many coins, but we're talking about Bitcoin, right? So now, to me, not much is confusing, but sometimes I still make the mistake and see crypto and Bitcoin as being synonymous, and that's not necessarily the case. Am I right?
And I'm so happy that I stopped the timer because I will take this time to emphasize that there is a big, huge, ginormous difference between
Yes.
Bitcoin and crypto. They are not
Exactly.
one and the same.
That's
And
right.
what happens is a lot of cryptos, I think Coin Market Cap a few months ago calculated that there's something like 1 million tokens on the market. What they
Wow.
do is they piggyback on
On
everything
Bitcoin.
that is fantastic about Bitcoin and they say,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, Bitcoin's great, buy our crypto. Not
yeah,
at all
yeah,
the same.
yeah,
I know a few years ago you mentioned Ethereum and Litecoin and stuff. I don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
if you've
yeah.
checked their market performance versus Bitcoin, but it's not at all the same thing. So,
Oh, I agree, and that's the confusing part, and I'm sure that it's been that way for many people. Now it's no
yeah,
longer
I think
really
so.
confusing for me, and
Yeah.
again, thanks to conversations with you along the way, it helped to make that distinction. Crypto and Bitcoin are not essentially the same.
Yeah, and thank you for being so honest and forthcoming with that, because I'm sure you're helping a lot of people right now who experience that confusion as well. Very good. Okay,
Yep.
what do Bitcoin and gold have in common?
Great store of value, I think. No, I haven't really thought it through, but somehow I think that that's the right answer. Great store of value over time.
Eh, yeah, and the very last question is: Bitcoin a good hedge against inflation?
No, that one, I'm inclined to say yes, but I'm not sure in the sense that every once in a while there are reversals in Bitcoin. But then again, a Bitcoin is a Bitcoin regardless of inflation. So I think yes. I think I think yes is the correct answer or a satisfactory answer. That's how
Very good.
you know.
And we've done 21 questions. Thank you so much, Dad, for being on the podcast, for having our very insightful interview. Can you remind people where they can find you on social media?
Yes, I'll begin with since I'm a kind of Neanderthal in social media, go to Facebook.
Facebook.
Go- Excuse me. Go to Facebook, King Cosmos, Messenger, King Cosmos. Go to Instagram, cosmos.king. Go to Twitter at real King Cosmos. Which were TikTok, King Cosmos and TikTok as well. Those are the ones that and YouTube. You'll find my music. Go to YouTube, King Cosmos, and you'll find my music there as well. My latest hit is Trinbago is Home, which is a tribute to the land of my birth, Trinidad and Tobago. We combine the two and we say Trinbago. Make it quick and short. Let me add a little something here. When we were talking earlier on about sunshine and vitamin D, now here
Yeah,
we're told about the dangers of sunlight and sunshine and so on, but the sun is the major natural source of vitamin D, which is so
of
uh,
course.
important for our immune system. So now we're encouraged to stay away from the sun, but then we have to go, not have to, but we're encouraged to buy vitamin D capsules at the pharmacy, at the drugstore,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And these caps, of course, they are artificial, whereas sunlight is the natural, the real thing. So again, it's the messaging
That
and the
can't be
reason
replicated.
behind the messaging. You know what I mean? Because you stay away from sun.
The sun is Bitcoin. The capsules, the synthetic vitamin D, are the altcoins.
You got it. You know, so yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah. So, and that's how I tend to process information coming, especially from mainstream media. It takes me to one of my favorite guys who was, I would say, he was unalived. That is Dr. Sebi, you know, who I
Oh, yeah. I
followed
haven't heard his name in years.
religiously over the
Yep.
years. And I mean, he was, you know, onto something. But, you know, c'est la vie. So, yeah, I thought I had to bring that part back because
Okay.
sunlight, you know, an inexhaustible supply, the natural vitamin D, which we all need.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree. Et voilà. We have finished recording.
Well, my daughter, thank you so
2 hours and
much.
20
This has
minutes.
been a pleasure. This has been a pleasure. It didn't feel like 2 hours.
Keys, 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 keys. Yeah, 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 yeah. Man like quakes. Man like who? Yeah. Takes her Bitcoin off exchanges under self-custody. She runs her own node, providing liquidity. Yeah, she got her own keys. She got her own keys. She got her own keys. Yeah, she got her own keys. 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 Yeah, she got her own keys. Keys, keys.